Oh, hi. It's me, Cody. Before we get into what is surely a fantastic episode of this podcast, I wanted to promote our Patreon survey, as we are sort of in this interlude phase for the next few weeks before the next season of You. We are sort of restructuring our Patreon and trying to figure out what you guys want and what you don't want and all that fun stuff. So, if you're a patron or if you're not a patron, you can fill it out at bit.ly/ITT survey, all caps, bit.ly/ITT survey. Yeah, that would be really helpful if you filled it out. It takes like 2 minutes, super easy, and it'll be in the description as well. Also, if you're not a patron already, consider being a patron of this podcast. You get a lot of cool stuff, like bonus content. We do a bonus show every single month where we just talk about good stuff. We've talked about Bon Appetit, and The Good Place, and Glow, and so many other stuff that's just there for you. You can also get shout-outs on every podcast, early episodes, all that fun stuff. So, that's it. Great. Enjoy the episode. Bye!
Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
The Charlie's Angels.
What
Plot
if
twist.
we were the angels?
Hear us out. McG, if you want to come back, we're ready. We're here for you.
I don't know that here's the thing that I'm afraid of. If we say McG 3 times, what happens?
I hope he appears in my bedroom and, over-sexualizes me.
Oh god,
that's the goal.
I mean, that's more likely than one would think, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the best case scenario is that, Lucy Liu just shows up and, does that teacher thing from the first movie. It's what's happening?
So if Lucy shows up, I'm gonna log off from this podcast.
That's the only thing that you should do.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, that's just your human right, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
I know. Have we started?
Yeah.
I would say technically we've started. Welcome to the
Yes.
Just an unhinged
Welcome to
intro.
the Into the Lucy Liu podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where
Thank you for having me for Into the Lucy Liu podcast.
Yeah,
I mean, we wanted an expert.
Truly.
Okay, if you want an expert, I can talk about lesbian paintings of Lucy Liu for an hour.
Hell yeah.
That's why we brought you on, actually. Yeah, I think instead of talking about the 2019 version of Charlie's Angels, we should instead just talk about Lucy Liu's filmography. I think that would be a better use of our time.
Right, not a bad idea.
Not the worst idea we've had, actually.
When we have time, actually, Lucy Liu has a 6-episode TV show, also starring Miranda Otto, that got cancelled after 6 episodes, and it's like Sex and the City, but more woke, and woke in quotes. By woke, I mean there's a person of color, Lucy Liu, and there's a bisexual character. That's all the woke it is. And It was during the 2008 writer's strike, and it got cancelled, and it is the most absurd show of all time.
I need that in my life, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that existed, actually.
Yeah, I did.
Anyway, welcome to Into the Twilight. This is not usually a podcast about Lucy Liu, but sometimes.
Sometimes, though.
We got a special guest, Dilara, from Much Ado About Cinema, and also Twitter.
Yeah.
And just being a person in this world, and a delight.
Yes,
Thank you for being
it is
here.
I. Thank you for having me.
We're so glad that you have brought your extreme expertise to this space today.
Yes.
Sure.
It's so valuable for us.
Yeah.
We usually start off with me asking Cody, how the fuck are you? But Dilara, I'll start with you first today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I have my jewel in one hand
Great.
And
Yes.
a pale ale beer in the other, and I'm ready to discuss Charlie's Angels and Kristen Stewart, and most importantly, the depression sequence from New Moon.
I'm so excited for us to be able to get there. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I've never like felt someone vibing so hard. But you are just exuding vibes right now.
Oh yeah, I am
It's
literally just
palpable.
vibing with this
Just
podcast right now.
No phones in sight, no technology in sight. We're definitely not recording this at all, just vibes.
Yeah, just some gal pals talking about gal pals.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Cody, how the fuck are you doing?
I'm doing great. I just had a big old bowl of chow mein, so I'm feeling great.
Damn.
Thank you.
That sounds good as hell.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's great.
Can you just like baby bird a little bit into me? I'm so hungry. That sounds so good.
Just do a little spit.
This is something that we do with all of our guests. But since you were almost telling us when we were not recording and I yelled at you to stop, can you please tell us your relationship with Twilight? What is your backstory with the Twilight Saga?
Okay, here we go. So I was in high school, either like first year or second year of high school. Anyway, I went to the bookshop, saw Twilight in the bestseller section, and it had the movie poster even though the film had not came out yet. So it was about to. Anyway, so what I did is I bought the book. I finished it in a day, as one does. And then everyone in my high school was like, oh, what are you reading? And I'm like, this is like a super cool book. Like, you guys should like totally read it. I was not talking like this because I was in Turkey. I was talking Turkish, but like, this was the sentiment, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
And then here comes the embarrassing part. I was an admin on a Harry Potter forum.
Oh my
hell
god. Yes.
Yes, dude.
And not to brag, but this was like the biggest Harry Potter website on Turkey. Like,
Damn.
no bragging,
Fuck.
but just saying.
Please brag. Yeah.
Flexing.
And
yes.
so they were thinking about like starting a Twilight website. So through there, I met some people who were like super into Twilight. And we all went to see the film, a group of 15 people, all girls, all in high school, on the first day of Twilight. And from there on, my life has changed forever. And after the second film, I became one of those awful people who are like, oh my god, Twilight is like so lame. Kristen Stewart cannot act. And because, you know, I was trying to be cool, but I still saw all the films on the same day and told everyone that I was doing it for the jokes.
Sure.
Yeah, so, and since then, I have been a huge Kristen and Edward fan. Not Edward, Robert.
Same.
His legal Christian name.
Yeah, his legal Christian name, Edward. And yeah, I just rewatched it like 2 weeks ago, the whole thing in one night. So
Oh my god.
that's my history, and yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me share this story.
It has literally been my dream for no joke a decade now. Like every time that I see people on Twitter being like posting their photos of like 2009 to 2019, I just want to post like me in my fucking Team Edward shirts.
Oh my god.
And just the same photo of me from 2009 to 2019. Like it's been a goal of mine for the past decade to just talk to people about Twilight. And so the fact that I get to just like discuss it with you is very cool. I love it a lot.
Yes.
So thank you for being honest and being able to like share.
Actually, the fanfiction I was going to bring, I looked for it everywhere, but I wrote a fanfiction when I was in high school about Twilight.
Oh my god.
And I looked for it everywhere and I couldn't find it, and I feel very sad.
I'm sure you probably did a lot of digging to try and not make it visible to the public, so
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. What was your story about New Moon that you wanted to bring to the space?
I feel like Kristen Stewart in that shot where like the camera is turning around her and she's like super duper depressed because like Edward left her. I think like I don't want to offend any listeners, but Orson Welles himself could rise from the grave and try to do that shit and he would fail.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure when Scorsese was talking about superhero films, he was thinking Twilight, New Moon, like that scene, that's cinema.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a whole mood right there. Absolutely. I'm glad that is a moment in cinema that really resonates with you, because when we're thinking about our current events here, it's a very special day in history when we are recording this for New Moon.
Yes.
Specifically the 10-year anniversary when the movie came out. And Cody, when we were discussing this a little bit earlier, there's a specific graphic that was posted about New Moon that you brought to my attention. Do you want to discuss that a little bit?
Listen, I don't want to like weave conspiracy theories on the podcast or anything, but I do think that someone at Ficklefish Films is listening.
I think so too.
I think they're like taking our constructive criticism, and I think they're listening, which I appreciate. Because I don't know, Dilara, if you're familiar with the Ficklefish Films Twitter account, it's a nightmare. You don't want to go on there, but it's really the like only Twitter presence of like Stephenie Meyer and the production company of stuff. Because like Stephenie Meyer personally doesn't really do Twitter or most social media. But she'll just go off on Ficklefish Films. And
As she should.
Yeah, that's her right. You know, she should do that. But we noticed over the last few weeks that whenever there was like a big anniversary or something, they would post a graphic that just like didn't make sense with like the Twitter aspect ratios. So like it would just be like a square, and you wouldn't see like it'd be all this text, and you can't read a damn thing reading it. It's a nightmare. But this one, for this New Moon 10-year anniversary, they did a good one. They did it right. And I just think they're listening.
I was very proud.
So Stephenie, come on anytime.
Come on down.
Come on down. Let's make it happen, baby. Come on.
Come on, Stephenie.
I would shit my pants.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If I would shit my pants, because I've said so many regrettable things about Stephenie Meyer, but you absolutely know that my mercurial ass, that if she got on the podcast, I would completely just like swap over and be like, oh my god, thank you, like I'm so glad that you're here, just like host mode, even though like her writing is trash. Like
right. We'd lose just like all of our journalistic integrity that we've hardened over the last 3 years of like criticizing things.
Oh yeah,
you know,
even I would. Like, right. Even though I'm now hosting this podcast, like last week when I was rewatching Twilight, I was like, why does this last film has so much like pro-life bullshit? But if I met Stephenie, I would be like, you were so right to say that, baby. Like,
yeah.
Literally.
Really, she could get away with anything, I think. Yeah. And we'd all just let her.
Also, I have a question for you guys, which is that I have realized recently that Twilight account on Twitter is still active for someone is running it. Yeah. And what I realized is New Moon is usually known as the film with like Jacob.
Yes.
And the animated like GIF that they posted to celebrate the 10th anniversary of New Moon does not have Jacob in it.
No, they have an interesting relationship with Jacob Black on that Twitter account. It's very interesting to me. First of all, I want to know who runs that Twitter account, first of all.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they are somehow, like, they're not, like, with it, but they do keep up with, like, the memes that are on there.
Yeah.
So, I just want to know, I would rather get the person that runs that Twitter account on the podcast before anyone that's on the cast. Because it's like, I just want to know what they know. I just want to know.
I want to know if there's like a big, Like, if there's one person who runs Twitter accounts for all the films that are, like, no longer playing and just does all the work for them.
Right. Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Because that Twitter account, like just the @Twilight, still has over 1 million followers.
Oh my god.
Right. It's nuts.
It is. It's so wild. And so I'm just like, how many people still follow that and don't realize that they're following it? I want to know the analytics on that for sure. I don't know. I have a lot of questions.
As you should.
I do. I have a lot of questions. Before we get into our Charlie's Angels discourse, we should probably talk about the actors on actors thing.
Yeah, because last week, by the time we recorded last week, only the Robert and Jenny Lo one came out. So this week,
right, we just had the promo. That's right. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I've watched it, and Cody, have you watched it?
I only watched the clip about the hands.
Only about the hands. Okay, and Dilara, you watched it.
I did not watch the full thing yet, though I regret it, but I did also see the thing about the hands.
Okay.
And, like, the gun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my
god.
I don't know if it's the same clip, but I have also seen that.
Yeah.
Weird thing, folks, that the clip that they posted on Twitter, that happens within, like, the first 5 minutes of that, like, 40-minute clip.
Where can they go from there?
That's a great question.
Do they just unravel their minds? What happens over the course of 40 minutes?
They do. One, this was my first actors on actors that I've ever watched. And I am obsessed with the format.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
It is.
You should definitely watch. I don't know if you're into Adam Driver, but there is one with Adam Driver and Michael Shannon.
Oh,
that
God.
Is literally insane.
So good.
They all are so interesting. So I found it interesting because K-Stu and Shia were both child actors. Yeah. And so they both have that platform to kind of jump off of. And so they get into their childhood trauma, like, right off the bat.
Instantaneously.
Yeah. And so Shia kind of, like, leads this interview. And I don't know if it was unintentional, but he just kind of does. He's like, all right, I'm going to take over. And Chris is like, okay. And it's... I'm just saying, I watched it while I was making breakfast this weekend, and it was wild. Where a couple of times my boyfriend Chris and I looked at each other and we were like, what the fuck is this? But it was definitely worth a watch. I don't know how to properly put it into words other than it was just exactly like the clip. Exactly just bonkers.
Just the clip for like 50 minutes.
Just for 50 minutes, yes. Of just, you wouldn't imagine it to be at that level, but it was.
I love that for them. I feel like they're a great pairing for that actors on actors thing.
They seem like they'd be good friends.
Yes. There's a part where Kristen Stewart talks about the fact that she, in the middle of the night in Los Angeles, will roam around to people's neighborhoods to steal fruit. To make fruit pies with. And so if you can just imagine K-Stu like roaming around people's yards and
just snooping
like a fucking raccoon.
Yeah, honestly, if there were any like current celebrity that I would compare to a raccoon, it would for sure be K-Stu.
It would definitely be Kristen Stewart.
Like
yes,
just snooping around.
You just wake up in the middle of the night, have to chase her off with a broom, like, get off my yard.
I mean, let's not act like you would chase off Kristen Stewart with a broom. Like, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
No,
just
I
like
wouldn't.
how we can't say no to Stephanie Meyer. Those walls still come back up with K-Stu.
No, I definitely wouldn't say no. I'll be honest. All right. I won't lie. Okay.
I love this
character.
character.
You got me.
We got you.
You got me. You got me, okay? I don't know what to tell you. You got
Allie
me.
is short-circuiting.
This is like just an expose.
Yeah, we're watching a human being just combust in real time.
I don't like this intervention, all right? Listen, leave me alone. So we have so much to talk about with Charlie's Angels.
Hell yeah.
Where do we start other than do we start with the downfall and go from there? Like, where do we go?
Yeah, it's a great question. I guess, like, the fact that it bombed is, like, the most recent of...
That's true.
So it's a good starting off point. Right, because it's not doing so hot, y'all. We told all of you to see it to prepare for this episode.
That's true.
And y'all flopped. Maybe some, whatever. But collectively, as a nation, we flopped.
I mean, I would say even I flopped on that front.
Right. I don't think that was entirely your fault.
Yeah, that was not my fault. I showed it at wrong AMC, and that was AMC's fault, not mine.
Yeah, fucking big AMC has something against Kristen Stewart.
Exactly. That's what I said.
Right. Corporate conspiracies. It's the fucking man.
Yep, it goes all the way to the top.
Yeah. But yeah, it didn't do so great. Didn't do so great opening weekend.
The weird thing about this, too, when I was looking at a lot of responses, I saw a lot of people being like, I didn't see this advertised until I was in theaters. And I felt the exact opposite. And maybe it was because they had my fucking number and were like, this person is going to see this movie. But I felt absolutely inundated with advertisements for this movie.
Right. Yeah, because it wasn't even, I mean, our own personal, like, online spaces are definitely probably skewed more towards who this would be targeted to. But, like, I saw posters, I feel like, and billboards and stuff kind of everywhere. But I guess if you're not, like, you're not, like, a fan of Kristen Stewart and, like, you don't really know anyone else in the movie, then maybe it's not something you really think about.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like they were really pushing for it. I think this is the second time this year that, like, Sony's kind of done this, right? Where they had Men in Black, and it was just kind of like, what happened? This is supposed to be our thing. And whoopsie, we whiffed it.
I feel like I saw so many ads. So, like, on the one hand, I see so many ads for every film because this is sounding like, sort of like an AMC ad. But, like, I have A-list, so, like, I go there 3 times a week. And I saw a lot of Charlie's Angels ads. Right. Yep. Also on YouTube, every video had a Charlie's Angels ad with it. But I think the problem was that even though there were so many ads, I wasn't sure when it was coming out.
Interesting.
I will say it did sneak up on me.
That's
like, it
true.
Came a lot sooner than I thought it was. Because I was thinking, like, winter, like solid winter, end of the year kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I have A-list too, and it was constantly promoted there. But I agree, like, in my YouTube advertisements, there were tons. We've mentioned on the podcast before that there were Pinterest ads for it. There were tons of YouTube ads for it. And again, it's probably because of demographics, right? That they had tons, like, they had my number for that too. But I saw a lot of people citing the lack of advertisements, and that definitely was not the case for me. Oh no,
it was not.
And the same for Men in Black. Like, that was completely advertised for me, and it was just a shitty movie.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I still haven't seen it.
You do not need to see it.
Yeah. It's kind of the same where it's like, and I think Men in Black does this less successfully than Charlie's Angels, where it's just like the hashtag girl boss, like, feminism kind of thing, in a way that's like just kind of thrown in there without really utilizing it or doing anything with it that's interesting. Like, the whole, like, Men in Black is just like, you're a woman? Like, and you're also a spy? Like, that's it.
Oh my god, that's insane. You're a woman and a spy. That's, like, so hot.
But, you know, worth it for Tessa Thompson in a suit, carrying big guns, big space guns.
Right.
But that's kind of it. It grows old after, you know, the first 10 minutes of that.
I think the only thing that Men in Black had going for it is that first trailer was amazing.
It was.
Because of Fergie only.
Yep.
Thank you.
And it was like, And it was like fantastic. You had London Bridge, you brought back the nostalgia.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about that.
Right.
And then
it was cut so well. Like, you know, it
Yeah.
was
Exactly.
like Suicide Squad level of incredible trailer cutting and editing. I was hyped for a film that
Right.
I never thought about again.
And then it didn't deliver. But with the Charlie's Angels trailers, that was not the same way of like,
Oh no.
the music was not there. So
I still can't believe they made that their lead song. It's a bad song.
it's so bad.
I tried listening to it today and I had to give up.
Yeah.
It's bad. I have no idea who's singing what and like why these group of people who have nothing in common.
Right. 3, like, you know, talented in their own right musicians that make no sense together in any capacity.
No.
And it's a
Yeah.
mess. It's a mess.
Well, and I think that's how it comes out with both trios, right? Is that it's clear that they had ideas that they were going to get higher profile actresses for, well, and, you know, artists for both. And they didn't. And they were like, oh, fuck. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
And so they settled with what they could get. And it, you know, it played out shitty in their favor, which is a bummer. Plus the fact that it's Elizabeth Banks and she put her fingers in the whole thing.
In all of it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Just
I
got in
remember
there.
seeing the trailer and seeing the name Elizabeth Banks like 5 times on that screen. I was like, this is gonna
Right.
fucking suck.
Yeah.
Because, like, Pitch Perfect, it's Pitch Perfect, right? But, like, when she got her hands in it, it's like, okay. So, to have her 4 times, I think it is, because it's directed, produced,
Screenwriter.
written by, and starred. So, Jesus. Yeah.
Like, at least not
4 Horsemen
star
of
in
the
it,
Apocalypse.
you know? Like, at
Right.
least, like, live something out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's rough. I was interested by the starring cast in this, though, because even though there wasn't, like, major star power behind it, because K-Suit's great, right? But I saw a lot of people, like, when I was reading the articles about it, there was a lot of flack of, like, maybe they should have done this earlier when she was still having her, like, Snow White and the Huntsman popularity, and I was like, why does everyone keep bringing that up? Like, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Let it go.
But I don't know. I feel like Naomi Scott is, like, getting there.
Yeah.
Because she just had Aladdin. But I
Yeah, but,
don't
like,
know.
Did anyone... I mean, like, I saw Aladdin, and when I saw Charlie's Angels trailer, I had no idea that was the same person.
Oh, interesting.
I thought it was like, this one looks familiar. I'm sure I've seen her somewhere, but, like, I couldn't figure out where it was.
Oh, interesting. But I think Ella is, like, brand new
Yeah, I think so.
to movies, right? But most of the, like, secondary characters are, like, famous. Because I found it so confusing watching this that the Bosley is, like, a title, but it's also, like, their names.
Yeah.
The British Bosley that died was, like, a famous actor.
Yeah. Patrick Stewart.
Well, yeah, so Patrick Stewart was one of the Bosleys, because Elizabeth Banks is one of the Bosleys, and then, I think his name, I'm forgetting it now, I think it's Digimon, or...
Oh, yeah. I forget his last name, but yeah, Digimon.
Yeah. Because he was in it, too. And then also, because this fucked me up when I saw him in there, but Finnick was in the movie.
But, like, the thing is, I had no idea that those people, including, like, Patrick Stewart, were in the movie from the trailers.
either.
Like,
Right.
unless you're the kind of person who checks out IMDb, which I usually do, but for this one I didn't. Like, you would have no idea that those people were in the film.
Right.
So they're not really, like, promoted.
Right.
No.
They're not really
No,
selling
they're
it.
not.
And it's not like, you know, some of those are, like, not I feel like there are like no stars in this film, as in like there's no one who's like A-list star power besides like Patrick Stewart and like
Right.
Kristen. There's no one super famous.
Yes. Unless you are a Finnick stan like I am, and you just are crying about Sam Claflin and you don't know why, because he looks completely different, and also he's this like douche developer for that like magnet company or whatever the hell it is.
Whatever that was supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
this is a rock that has all the power.
Yeah, it's this like electric rock, and also my name is Alex Brock, and it's like, all right, can you just like chill out? Who
Let's
are
take a
you?
step back from the screenplay and think this through.
Right,
It's
exactly.
something no one said.
Yeah, so this movie was a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely not the OG one, and definitely not like the McG ones. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you all, but I didn't hate it. It's not good.
Right.
But I didn't hate... I mean, I watched it for Kristen Stewart, I'll be honest.
Yeah. No, I think
Of
I was
course.
like, I was charmed by it for sure. Like, I left it being like, I had fun for the most part, and I think they all had fun for the most part making this. And I think
Right.
we all just had a good time just looking at our girls in fun costumes, in beautiful wigs and dresses, and doing some weird fight choreography, and cracking some jokes sometimes. And I think
Yes.
that was great.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
why must the film be good? Isn't it enough to just sit in a theater and watch some beautiful woman kick ass?
Right. Because that's what Charlie's Angels is supposed to be, right? Like, this whole history of this franchise has just been like, I mean, obviously starting off with like exploitative roots, right? But like, you know, have gotten campier and campier over the years, and like, you know,
Yeah.
have changed with social norms or whatever. But like, at the end of the day, it's just like hot women fighting, doing spy stuff, and
Right.
having fun.
Yeah, but I felt like in this one, like, I had fun for sure
Mhm.
because Kristen and like
Right.
I'm
yeah.
gay.
She's like the heart. Yeah.
But I felt like, so I haven't seen the originals, but I have seen the ones with Lucy Liu like
Yeah.
10 times. And
Yes.
Lucy, Drew, and of course Cameron. I don't want to like exclude them. And I feel like those had an energy that was just completely different and more lively, and they just had like a certain style to them,
Yeah.
while this feels like a very calculated
Yeah, it does
film.
feel like it takes itself a little more seriously and a little too
Yes.
seriously to be as fun as it like it should be.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And I think what was really cool about the McG ones were like that there's that energy, like you said, because they're like from the start like best friends forever, that kind of like camaraderie and shit.
Yeah.
Whereas with the new one, they like are all kind of, they don't know each other and are like building up to this like long-lasting friendship and stuff that's not like super developed or earned really by the end of it. But like we don't really get to have a lot of fun in the meantime of them just like doing fun crimes and kicking ass and whatever.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Same way, you
Like
know?
having
It's-
that kick, like, you know how they would just jump and be mid-air for 5
Right.
minutes
Oh my god.
and like
Yeah.
throw a kick. Like, I wanted to see that because
Yeah.
that's Charlie's Angels, baby.
That's it,
Yeah.
baby.
And like that, I
Yes.
think that like early 2000s fashion is just, I don't know if people are gonna think about this Charlie's Angels like years later and be like, oh my god, this like 2019 fashion is so funny. But like that's how I see the Charlie's Angels now, like the early versions. Just like that incredible fashion and the colors.
Yeah, I will say there are some good looks in this one though.
I liked the looks in this
Like
one a
the
lot.
party scene, there's like
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
that's
end where
good.
they're just like all wearing these sparkly dresses. It's so good. It's so good.
It is.
And it makes a lot more sense. In the trailer, I was like, how the fuck are they all having a coordinated dance? And now it makes a lot more sense because they're all angels.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And so
I mean, I think I'm under the the opinion that every movie should have a flash mob sequence in it.
Yep,
all
definitely.
right, well,
I think that makes for a good film.
You know, there's nothing better than a random musical dance scene in a film. It doesn't matter which film. Like,
Yeah.
it could be any film.
It'll make it
Sure.
better.
Yeah.
it was just so stressful in the trailer because I didn't understand. But now, it makes sense.
Why are they moving at the same time in the same way? I hate it.
This is insane. How are they doing that?
Well, because it's just like, I know that Kristen Stewart, like, why is she dancing? Why are they making her dance? But now I know her character, and it's like, oh, okay, she doesn't give a fuck. Like, she's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, I feel better. I feel better about that. Can we talk about Sabina, Kristen Stewart's character, please?
Hell
And
yeah, we
thank you.
can.
Yes.
Because this Italian woman
Yeah.
is a masterpiece. A masterpiece of crime who wears so many wigs,
Yeah.
As she should.
but is,
Right.
as she should, but they're like, one, they're wigs, and we get to talk about their wigs, which is so different than anything that we've had to watch from Case 2, which changes things.
Yeah.
I just want to say, because the fact that this starts off in Rio. Okay, so just a little behind the curtain. As soon as I got out of the movie, I texted Cody and was like, this is very similar to the Twilight Saga. Because as I was watching this movie, I was making a list in my head of all the similarities that this movie has to the Twilight Saga. And there are many, which I will delve into
Allie has
after.
just pulled up a PowerPoint. We're all going to watch it
I have-
together.
She should.
I have the clicker in my hand. First of all, K-Stu in this movie, her name is Sabina. Sabina is an Italian name. K-Stu in the Twilight Saga, her name is Isabella, an Italian name. Conspiracy? I think not.
Oh, is this how this starts? Is this the foundation for your fucking thesis?
Then,
Oh
no, just hear me out. You might not
Listen
trust
to
me
her,
now.
okay?
I'm sorry.
You
I'm
might
judging.
think-
Go ahead.
You might think I have a tin hat, but I'm telling you, this leads somewhere. Then, the
Trusting
movie
you.
starts out in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro specifically. You know where Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1, the honeymoon starts? Rio de
Rio.
Janeiro. So, I'm just saying, there are connections.
Yep.
There
This
are.
goes deep, you
Okay?
guys.
It's all connected. All I'm saying is that Elizabeth Banks has watched all the movies, and there are connections here.
Yeah, she's invested in the Kristen Stewart cinematic universe and keeping that whole thing intact.
So Sabina, we find out, one, has done a lot of crime. There's a part in the movie too where we get to see like all of the crime that she's done, and there's like Grand Theft Auto on there, and like breaking and entry. There's like a whole bunch of different crimes on there, which is like hell yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
And-
sick.
There's a part when they get into their like safe house, and she's talking about all of her abandonment issues, which is like, one, a mood, and two, Bella has abandonment issues, which is like not a big deal, but also more connections.
Right,
so-
sure.
Then when they meet Elena and they're fighting off that scary assassin, what is Sabina driving? She's driving a motorcycle. It's
Yes.
all connected, folks. I'm telling you.
Wait, how is the motorcycle connected?
Because, and I'm so glad that you asked, Bella drives a motorcycle in New Moon.
Okay, but a lot of people do drive a motorcycle. Like, I'm not trying
Dilara,
to, like,
if you poke
shit
holes
on
in
your
this theory,
thing.
it would disintegrate so quickly.
Okay, I'm gonna
My
take it
red
back.
strings are unfathomable. They're too powerful.
I'm
to be
sorry.
shaken.
I didn't mean to, like, shit on your thing or, like, yeah. I completely I cannot drive a motorcycle, so you're certainly right.
Neither can I. My second to last thing is when Sabina fights. There's a thing that she does, and it's K-Stew's thing, but it's also Bella's thing. She does this grunt when she gets, like, stressed that is exactly Bella's vampire grunt when she's like, you named my daughter after a Loch Ness Monster thing, and it just, like, sends me. And then the last thing is that when Sabina gets hurt after the house gets blown up because Patrick Stewart is a wrecking monster who doesn't care about his community. K-Stu is in a hospital bed, and Bella was in a hospital bed.
Once
There
again,
it is, folks.
not the
So-
shit on your thing at all.
My red strings are unfathomable.
You know what? I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna let you have this moment.
It's all she has. She needs
Yeah. You're 100% correct, and there is a conspiracy theory.
Someone in the writer's room has watched Twilight. And I can pretty much guarantee that.
And that's a guarantee.
Yep.
That's an Into the Twilight guarantee, folks.
That's
Yep.
right, baby.
That is something I can guarantee. Yep. What were your favorite moments from the movie?
Not to sound like a complete dyke. Can I say that?
Yes, you can say it.
Okay.
Yes!
Not to sound like a complete dyke, but one of my favorite scenes was like when Kristen Stewart is at like a gym and she steals a guy's card and she's wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And then just as she's leaving, a woman walks in and she checks out the woman. And
Yep.
I'm a bit emotional talking about this. And, you know, I hate to objectify women. And this is totally not male gaze. But I would fucking die for her. Like, not to overreact, but I would sacrifice my firstborn just to have Kristen Stewart wear those shorts and look at me like that. Like,
Sure.
no offense,
Yeah.
no homo, but
Don't even get it twisted, okay?
yeah, like, please do not misunderstand what I'm saying here. No homo, but can she please hold my hand?
That's perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that's my contribution.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Cody?
Yeah, that's great. I think we've just been talking about K-Stu, but I will say K-Stu's really good in this. Like,
She's so funny.
right, that's what I was basically gonna say, is that, like,
Yeah.
since over the last few years, she's kind of been doing her, like, indie darling situation, which is great, and she's been doing some good art stuff, and that's great. But, like, this is the
But, like,
first real
fuck art.
time...
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck cinema, actually. Fuck films. But this is like the first time since Snow White and the Huntsman, I guess, since she's been in a
Stop.
pretty big mainstream thing, and also as like a pretty comedic lead, which I think is
Right.
a really like good thing. We should start giving like those roles. We should start giving her more of, because she's so fucking funny. She has these just like
She is.
little physical like qualities that are just like so adorable and delightful and so funny. Like, there was so many times where she's just, like, pointing at herself when people are talking about her, and it just, like, it sent me. I was just, like, it was so good.
Yeah, there's a lot of her Aries energy definitely came through in this.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many times where I remember, like, in one of the earlier scenes in the movie when she's, like, put on watch at the top of that staircase, and she's just, like, staring at the dogs when she's supposed to be working. And it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you doing?
Or like when she has to like distract the cameras or something, so she just starts doing a dance.
Yes.
In the middle of the thing. It's so good. She just like the
Yeah.
way that she just utilizes her body for humor is fucking so choice.
Yes.
Also, shout out to that one scene where Elizabeth Banks mentions Birdman for no reason.
no
also-
reason.
Of course.
Jesus.
Breaks a phone just with her bare hands. That was pretty sick. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think also one of like my favorite moments were like these little moments where she's like, the smart one who graduated from MIT is telling something scientific, and
Oh, yeah, Jane.
Kristen's character is like guesses it, and she's like, "Yeah, I know things." And I'm
Yeah.
like, those little moments were so perfect, and I
So
felt
good.
so like I related to her. I'm like,
Yeah.
Right.
I am also a fellow dyke who doesn't know anything and acts like she knows things. And that felt really... Bad movies can be really personal.
They should have given her more comedy lines.
Yeah.
Which I never thought I would have said,
Right.
but they should have. My favorite scene of the movie, unsurprisingly, is when they're on the boat, and she looks at the little girl and is like, "Do you want to touch Elena?"
Oh my god.
And then those three women are just like cuddling on the boat, and it's like, what the fuck is this? This is a real movie? This is real?
Yeah, like Elena's passed out, basically unconscious. It's like, hey kid, you want to touch her? Like she might be dead. Who knows?
There's
Who
no way
knows?
of knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this is completely unrelated, but can we talk about the fact that Altoids, TM, are like a major through line throughout this movie?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
I wish the listeners of this podcast could see that I have one on my desk at this
Whoa.
moment.
Whoa.
Yes.
Are they real Altoids, or are they the tranquilizer Altoids?
Oh no, they are real. Or are
okay.
they?
Well,
Whoa.
Think about it.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past you to be an angel, so...
I don't know why I laughed like that. That was a really...
No, it was very good.
That was a really fake angel laugh. But yeah, I love them. I go to Trader Joe's all the time and get them from there. They're super good.
So, as someone that I remember having Altoids when I was super young. Do either of you remember the Altoid sours?
So I cannot do
Cool.
that because I'm not American. I moved here a year ago, and we do not have them in Turkey. So I shall not be answering.
I will show you a picture right now. They were my favorite. They were my crack growing up. Oh, there's a petition to bring them back. Holy shit.
Are you leading this caucus, Allie?
Yeah, apparently. Oh,
I
you
love
can
how
buy
you
them.
casually said like, "Oh, there's a petition that I never heard of."
I just found them on a used for sale website, as if that's not the sketchiest thing I've ever seen.
Please do not buy old ass Altoids from the
I'm
internet.
gonna buy these. I'm gonna buy these right now. Fuck you. You're not my dad.
I have to continue this podcast alone because Allie died by eating rancid Altoids.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, in case she dies, I'm willing to take over.
Oh, done.
I'm just going to add these to the podcast link so you can see the kind of... Just imagine how those would rip up the roof of your mouth.
Oh, this shit was my shit. I know exactly.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, okay, we had something similar, and this is a crime against humanity. And your tongue, basically. Yeah, this ain't it, you guys.
Oh,
Damn.
But it was it, though.
I don't know about that, Chief.
Damn.
I'm trying to see if there's any main information here about Charlie's Angels. There was something that I found that I wanted to mention. So we were talking about how we didn't know the release date of this. I'm looking at the oh-so-reliable Wikipedia page here. And it has said that it was going to be released on November 1st, but it was pushed back because it wanted to avoid competition with Terminator.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
As if that was going to help anything.
Yeah, you know. Better safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah. But right now...
Can I just shout out my least favorite part of this movie?
Can you please?
The montage in the beginning with just like the young women.
That is
just being girls doing their thing.
That is, I don't want to overreact, but okay.
No, I
so
wish you would.
I think I should tell the listeners that I watched the film through a cam rip because I missed the screening. So this cam rip had lots of ads for like casinos and stuff because it's a cam rip. And I thought, I swear to God, that scene, that montage was an ad for some random Russian thing. And then I realized that it was not. And it might be one of the worst scenes of the decade.
It's awful. And like fully, leading up to the movie coming out, Allie and I think everyone else was worried that this was just going to be like super bullshit, like Elizabeth Banks feminism, which like it is, but like
it is, yeah,
it is,
for
yeah.
sure. But like to a very like obscene extent, and that scene being so like immediately in the beginning was a bad precedent. And I'm like, oh, is this going to be the whole thing?
Yeah,
is this it? If you just took that out. There's a lot of other problems for sure, but like that is just like so unnecessary.
Yeah, that just sets you up for disappointment.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, it was definitely just like a slap in the face of like, whoa, where is this going?
Yeah, young women, girls can do anything. Did you know that?
Ugh.
Oh yeah,
Girls?
and that being like opening scene, I think women can do anything.
Yeah, I'm tired.
It's like, I want to get out.
How did you feel about the end credits, like with all the little cameos?
I thought it was fun. I thought it was kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. I guess I was expecting more of that in the actual movie. Like more fun training stuff, especially since like a lot of like you definitely had like a person that was new to the Angel universe or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't like a lot of that fun training montage kind of stuff. That was just
Yeah,
like, here's
I
how
would
you shoot a
actually
gun.
love to see that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. But having it all at the end was just kind of like, oh, why, where? That was fun, I guess. We could have done that. But let's just do it with celebrities that we know, kind of.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised to see... I mean, I guess I wasn't surprised to see Haley Steinfeld, because, like, Pitch Perfect, right?
Sure.
It was cool to see Aly Reisman, because gymnast, cool, sports.
Love sports.
Love sports.
I love sports.
Thank you.
Laverne Cox, too, looks so
Laverne
good
Cox
in this
was
movie.
very good to see.
So good. She's so good.
And then, I guess this is where, like, the whole Elizabeth Banks white feminism really came through, because it's like, Ronda Rousey and Danica Patrick's like, whoa. Like, I guess, like, I don't know. I know that they are supposed to be, like, pioneers in, like, what they do, but also, it's like, okay. It's just, I don't know. I thought that was more, like, what was going to be happening in the film itself.
Sure, right.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like if you're going to have a person who's not an agent and just came in, I think everyone loves a good training scene.
Yeah, give
For
me
sure.
that Rocky climbing up the stairs shit.
Exactly.
Just give me some fun amp music. I want it.
Right. I don't know. It's always cliche, but I always love that part so much.
But like in a, this whole film is a cliche, and the whole like
Exactly.
category it exists within is a cliche. if you're gonna do it, lean into the bit. Let's just have fun.
Exactly.
Let's have a great time.
Yeah,
off the wall.
which is like when I think about like 2000s movies, I'm like, this is so cliche, but it is so fun.
Yeah.
So, which
Yeah,
is something
exactly.
that I didn't get a lot from this film.
Right.
No.
I think also like I feel like the case that they had to solve was like done too seriously. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
I agree with that. I
Sure.
mean, they were talking about weaponizing fancy magnets, so
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you just need like Demi Moore to be like, I'm not good, I'm great, and jump off a building. And
Yeah.
right.
and that's the plot.
That's the movie. There it is.
Right. Yeah,
That's cinema,
I agree.
babe. That's it.
That is cinema.
Yeah. Whereas with Elizabeth Banks, it was like, you know, stealing charity money and finding a way to bring in 7th-generation diapers. It's like
Sure.
everything's got to be serious.
And not one but two Shyamalan twists. Who's the villain? Who?
Yeah.
Break your neck by thinking which one is which. Who knows?
Yeah.
It do be like that.
I found it weird that Drew Barrymore was on the like production team, but no one from McG was in this at all for a cameo.
Yeah. I think that would be really nice to have a scene of one of them just being like, hey, angels at the grocery store or something. I don't know, man. I just want to see Lucy Liu again.
Yeah. Listen, we got those great photoshopped photos in the beginning with like
That's true.
Patrick Stewart as Buzzley in the old
Yeah.
2000s ones. That was pretty great.
Yeah, it just felt like it's weird that one of them is like included in the behind the scenes, but they
Right.
can't be bothered to be in this at all.
Yeah.
It just made me wonder like what's going on there, I guess. Very interesting. Any final thoughts about the movie? What would you change? What did you like? Anything like that?
I just want to say my Twitter prophecy was true. And I am a prophet.
That's fair.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair.
It's fun. It's a fun time.
It is.
You see people be hot. You see people you love do some stunts. And it's fun. It's a fun time. It's fun.
And sometimes that's just all you need.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I could have done without Noah Centimeter or whatever his name is.
Centimeter. Yeah, why is he there?
I don't know.
I thought he was going to be there a lot longer, so him only being there for like a blip, I was very grateful for. Because the trailer had me worried.
Yeah, but he was thankfully just in a closet and then in a
Right.
box office, so it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Great. Well, thanks Charlie's Angels for being just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fine.
That's all I could
Well,
have asked for.
Thank you for gay
Yeah.
Kristen Stewart.
Thank
Truly.
you. Thank you.
for just being fine. Next week we get to return to our vampire roots.
Oh, yeah, we're back, baby.
Yeah, we are watching Vampire Suck.
Woo!
Oh my god, what's
which
that?
It is
Oh, get ready.
Vampires Suck. I'm so glad that you asked. It is a parody movie about the Twilight franchise.
Oh no.
Yeah, like it came
So-
out during like the hype of Twilight, like around the same exact time. Fully
Yep.
like shitting on it and parodying it and stuff. It's
Yep.
a ride. I haven't seen it, I don't think, since it came out, so it'll be
Yeah,
fun to
same.
rewatch.
Yeah, it came out like in 2010.
Yeah.
And they're like Edward and Jacob are still the same, but the character, like, it's not Bella, it's Becca. So there are some weird things that are different. So it's very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
What
so
they've
excited.
changed. So very interesting. we have some patrons
Hell
to
yeah,
thank.
we do.
And a fantastic listicle to thank them with here. This listicle is from Screen Rant, the one, the only. And it is the ultimate gift guide for fans of Twilight.
Yep.
So cursed.
It's so bad.
So, you know, shopping for the holidays. We got you. We got you covered. Don't even worry.
I'm getting all of these for you, Cody.
Please don't.
All of them.
Oh, no.
Okay, so our first patron is Rachel Gray.
Pew, pew, pew.
And Rachel, thank you. Rachel, you are going to be the most nostalgic one on here. Number 5, Seen It, Twilight Deluxe Edition.
Oh, yes. I've seen this in maybe every thrift store I've ever been in since 2010.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out Janae Jasper.
Woo woo.
Who's gonna be number 4.
Legend.
The Bella Breaking Dawn Part 2 Barbie doll.
Oh my god.
She's got a sick leather jacket.
Oh,
very
yeah.
Nice smoky eye moment. And the most amount of hair I've ever seen on a Barbie doll maybe in my life.
A more realistic wig.
Honestly.
All right, shout out to Kelly Beck.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, girl.
Who's going to be number 7. Twilight, Edward, and Bella action figures.
Okay, this is my favorite. So, like, Kelly, was it Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Kelly, you got, like, the best one, girl.
Can we talk about
Haunting.
Edward's face?
Why is he so mad?
Why is that car so mad? Edward looks like he's constipated. Like
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
And Bella looks like she just farted, but she pooped instead. And she's like, oh god. Like, oh
I think this works perfectly. Like, Bella just farted, and Edward can 100% smell it. And, like, that's his face.
Yep.
Which reminds me the old question, can Edward tell when Bella is on her period? But, like...
Absolutely.
Oh, duh.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. Okay, shout out Sophia Salinger.
Yes,
Pew, pew.
queen.
Who's gonna be number 3, the Immortal Twilight perfume.
Oh my god.
It's, wow.
Is this still,
So
like...
cursed.
Do they still sell this? Because I
Listen,
might
Screen Rant has
low-key
an
buy it.
Amazon link. Yep, you can buy. It's $20. You can, if you want it. It's on Amazon.
Oh
Can
my
you
god,
read
they
the
also
notes
have...
of this, please?
Okay, if you guys go into the Amazon link, they have like frequently both together thing, and there is a Twilight penultimate gift package that includes like keychains and socks and stuff like that. And I'm sorry for interrupting. This is just so good. And there is a
And dog
Bella
tags.
engagement ring replica for $12.
I'm gonna buy this replica ring just real quick.
Yeah.
Don't even worry.
Sorry, go on.
All right.
No, it was perfect. A very perfect
No, it's
segue.
fine. All right. Shout out to Erin Salinger.
Yay!
Who's going to be number 2, the absolutely infamous Twilight graphic novel.
Oh, I hate
Wait,
looking
what?
at it.
Oh, welcome. Welcome to the space, the Twilight graphic novel set. The haunting graphic novel set.
Is this okay, I am definitely adding this to my Christmas list.
Yes.
Yep, they are something, that's for sure.
Yeah. Shout out to Taylor Brown Town Lautner.
Woo!
Woo!
Gonna be the Twilight 10th anniversary poster. Of course.
It's so pretty.
One could say that, sure.
K2 just looks so young.
I mean, she also is.
I mean, she's so young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is part of that, like, 10-year anniversary. They just redid all the covers and stuff, which are haunting. But, you know, It's cool to just have that maybe in a frame up in your room. Why not? Happy
Sure.
holidays.
Just put that up in my classroom real quick.
Like,
Absolutely.
imagine you go into, like, you just randomly meet someone at the bar, you go to their house, and they have this on their bedroom. Like, are you gonna tell me you wouldn't fuck them? Like,
Come on.
let's not
be honest
lie
with
here.
Ourselves.
Yeah.
Just in your doctor's office. All right, and shout out to Katie Weber,
Pew, 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 pew.
who's going to be number 1, the New Moon colon crest replica jewelry set.
Oh my god.
Oh, so extra.
It's so much.
Why
I
is
love
it
it.
packaged like that?
Because it's only one of 3,000.
Oh.
Limited edition.
Which is why
And
it's
it's-
$200.
And it's only one there's only one in stock.
Oh my
Dang,
god.
That's why.
That's it.
Wow. All right. So we are now to your fan fiction. I'm so excited.
Okay. So I chose a fic called Sharing Bella, which was recommended by a friend.
Oh.
Yeah, it was published in 2009. This is, I think, the first chapter, like epilogue. And it starts with, "This is my first fanfic, so be good to me, lol. Reviews are loved. A classic. We love this writer." Okay, here we go. This is from Edward's point of view. Bella and I had been dating for 2 years, and even though we shared the same bed, we never went that far. We met at a club that my good friend Jasper owned. Bella and I had instant chemistry. But as the years rolled, okay, so they haven't fucked in years. Years rolled on, I realized that I was in love with not only Bella, but Jasper as well. "Bella, love." She was snuggled up against me in her big white bed. They have a bed, they share a bed, but they're just not having sex. Yeah, baby. God, her voice was so sexy. "I need to talk to you about something." Immediately, she shut up in the bed. "Edward, what's wrong?" "Well, Bella, I'm gay." Sorry. The look on her face, I'm just going to read the first chapter, it's really short. The look on her face surprised me. She didn't look happy or mad, which is, the two emotions. "I don't understand. You don't love me anymore? You love a guy?" "No, I love you and a guy. This was going to be totally complicated." "That's not possible, Edward, unless you're bi." "I am." "So who is this guy?" "Jasper." "Your best friend?" I thought she was going to walk out on me any second. "Yeah. Does he know you're bi?" Sorry, not you are, you're. Does he know you're bi? "Yeah, I told him. And I told him I still want to be with you though, too." Be with you though, too. Please. "In other words, we want to share you, Bells." "But what, honey? So you're saying you're be with Jasper, he knows this, and that the two of you want to share me? Like I'll have 2 boyfriends?" I had to. So it goes on and on. But
Wow.
so this fic has 21 chapters in total. And
Oh my god.
it's about Bella, Jasper, and Edward having a polyamorous relationship. And
Okay, 2009. Hell yeah.
yes, so
Wow.
I haven't read the whole thing. So I don't know if they, like, 3 of them end up together or if Edward has to choose at the end. But the first chapter, as you heard, is really, really promising.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Oh my god.
It is called,
Wow.
wait, I should share the name so, like, people can go and read it. It's called Sharing Bella by Love Me Cullen. It's on fanfiction.net. And yeah, it has 26,000 words. That's it.
Amazing.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. Before we head out, where can people find you on the internet? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing... okay, they can find me on Twitter at Elbir Dilara, which is ELBIR and Dilara. Just, yeah, they can find me if they really want to. Yes.
Hell yeah.
All right, and perfect. Awesome. Anything else that you want to plug?
Oh, I write for Much Ado About Cinema.
Hell yeah, you do.
Yeah. I
Heck
mean,
yeah.
well, I'm editor-in-chief. Not to brag, but
Running shit.
I'm-
Queen shit.
exactly. I'm running some queen shit. So check the website out. And
It's great.
yeah, it's kind of cool. It's neat. And yeah, thanks for listening. And thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
What
Awesome.
a treat.
Well,
That's so good.
well, as we say here in Seattle,
Get bit.
and get whipped.
Woo!
Woo!
This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrausFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, who you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse. You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.